Hello and welcome to Video Hits, and hello, Dr. Matthew James Bellamy. Welcome to Video Hits.
How are you? Great to meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Doctor.
Well, you are a doctor, aren't you?
Allegedly, yeah. That's what. Yeah, someone gave us a blag as a free doctor. I don't think I deserve it, but yeah,
Doctor.
I can claim the title.
Surely that helps pull chicks back in the day. Twice in 1 year to Australia. You love us. We love you too. It's nice to see you again in Australia.
Great, thanks. Thanks for having us. Yeah, we love you. We love you here. Yeah.
When you guys were here for the Big Day Out, we talked to Dom, the drummer, about the fact that you didn't want to do any side shows back then with the Big Day Out because you wanted to come back
and do this
and do something special. And here you are doing something very special. Can you tell us about the show, the live show that you're doing?
Well, it's totally different to the Big Day Out thing. Big Day Out was like just a festival gig, so we had just like screens behind us that were kind of very simple and a few bits and pieces. But this tour's got a much more elaborate layout with like moving platforms and like these kind of curtains that fall down at the beginning, and it's much more set up based around the concept of the album, which is kind of influenced by 1984, which is influenced by 1984, the George Orwell book, which is kind of the idea of us being stuck in these ministries. He describes them as being pyramids in the book, but we kind of ended up doing as more as like office columns, and we're kind of in these three. We call them ministries, but they just look like three kind of building blocks. Yeah, we're kind of inside them. And then the idea is that kind of throughout the gig we kind of break out of them and come out. But how that actually happens is the lifts just go down. Yeah.
And if you've seen the Resistance clip, which you will see soon here on Video Hits, you will know what we're talking about. So if you happen to miss out on the shows this time around, just watch the video clip. Yeah. Are you loving playing the new songs live?
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah. Some of them are quite different to anything we've done before, especially songs like Undisclosed Desires is like it's like an electronic track. It's the first time where Dom's playing like electric drums and I'm not actually playing piano or guitar. I'm playing like sort of electric sample sounds and things like that. So it's a completely different approach, and I quite like that. Maybe in the next album we might do a bit more of that, I think, 'cause it's quite challenging. Excellent.
What's the favourite thing about playing your own music with your closest friends to massive crowds of adoring fans?
What's the best thing about it? It's the best thing about it is, as you said, because they're close friends from school. You have that thing where you can look at each other and you can remember. I can remember Dom in like trying to get off with some girl when he was 15, and Chris like getting into fights. He was a hard nut.
Was he hard?
But he was a good hard nut. But but I remember them like when they were school kids. So there's something funny about looking across and remembering us being in classrooms together, and then looking at us in front of like a big crowd and stuff. It's that contrast. It's hilarious.
That's lovely. Your live shows seem to be getting bigger and bigger. I actually read a review of your Wembley Stadium show, written by Simon Neil from Biffy Clyro, who are supporting, that says you might be better at stadium shows than you two. Thoughts?
I disagree with that. I would argue that point. I think they're definitely a bit. They've definitely been around the block a bit more, and they've got a bigger back catalogue to choose from.
You're saying they're old? Yeah.
Well, in a good way. I think they've grown old rather gracefully, I'd say.
Indeed.
Some bands grow old a bit disgracefully. Yeah. But I think you two have done it well. I think
you're playing with them soon, yeah?
Yeah, in South America. Yeah, next year, March and April. Yeah.
Very exciting. And they'll be supporting you, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever had any Spinal Tap moments in your career as a band? Has the pod has not opened one time?
We've had endless Spinal Tap moments. Like on this tour, the tour that we're playing at the moment in Australia, we've already toured that around Europe and America, and we've had loads of stuff that went wrong. But one of the worst that went wrong was in Brisbane the other day. My in-ear monitors completely broke down, and I couldn't hear anything. I was like 4 meters off the ground. So I couldn't get down, and I was like, I couldn't get down, so they had to bring out a step ladder, and that's like really, that really wasn't cool.
The magnificent, grandiose step ladder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then other times, like when the curtain falls down, a couple of times it's got caught on my head, and what the actual real Spinal Tap one is, we did a whole of Uprising once, and Chris's sock curtain didn't come down, and it came down at the end of the song. So that actually is what happened in Spinal Tap. It's like the bass player was like revealed at the end.
That's perfect. Exactly what I was after. What would your ultimate gig be? Have you ever thought about what's the biggest thing? What are you laughing at?
It's you.
What are you laughing at me?
Yeah, because you're funny.
Well, you're talking very fast. We're going to have to slow you down in post.
Cool.
Ultimate gig ever? Have you discussed playing somewhere like the Pyramids or in space?
Yeah, we've had discussions about space. I was thinking of approaching Branson and trying to play on his little thing that he's sending up there. But we'd have to reduce our backline down. We've got too much backline at the moment. So we'd have to do it all on pods and things like that. I don't know. I don't know but I think it would be possible, and I think it's possible in our lifetime. So I'd love to play in space.
Push for that, Richard. If you're watching, this is your opportunity. Twitter. You play your music like you're wringing every last drop of music out of your tools. Nothing else is left in the instruments when you're finished with them. They're like empty and listless old deflated footballs.
Who is?
The instruments.
Oh, the instruments are, right.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're a master of your craft, or do you feel like there's more to explore and more to learn in your life? It's not funny. It's really serious.
I was trying to find the question. Is there more to experience out of the instruments?
Are you a master of your craft, or are you
No,
still
no,
learning?
no. I think they say you don't become a master until you've done 10,000 hours, isn't it? Is that what they say?
Don't know.
So that's what I've heard. I've heard they've scientifically studied what it is to become a master of your craft, and it's 10,000 hours is required.
Surely you're getting close
I don't
to
think
that.
we've done. I think we're more about the 3,000-4,000 mark.
Okay, soon. Within your lifetime,
Within
you
our
will become
lifetime,
master.
We will become masters. Yeah.
You obviously play guitar magnificently, play piano magnificently, a few other toys as well, bit of mandolin, bit of keytar, as you've been mentioning. Other fun instruments that you dabble in?
I like the vibraphone, but I've never
Me
actually
too.
found a chance to incorporate it into any songs yet.
Have you got one?
No, but I've borrowed one a couple of times.
Vibraphone, they're beautiful.
Instruments, I quite like what that folk band, what are they called, Mumford. I like what they're doing with banjos and things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you picked up a banjo? Can you play the banjo?
My dad used to have a banjo when I was younger, and I picked it up a couple of times, but I
Yeah,
never strummed
nice.
it. Never strummed it.
Ding, 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 ding. Resistance. Here is my very signed copy. Yours may not look like this. Came out in 2009, fifth studio album, fantastic and epic, well done. Recorded in Italy, where Video Hits actually came over and visited you at Lake Como, and we did a special line.
Did you come
Well,
out?
I did not come. I was not invited.
The company came.
Yeah, people came. Faustina
Your
came.
employees came.
That's right. Why Italy? Because you can.
Because why was I in Italy?
Why did you record in
Oh,
Italy?
yeah. At the time, I had a girlfriend that was Italian, so I was living up there for that reason, yeah. And but it was also a lovely location. It was different. Every hour we've done, we've done in a different place, you know, or different locations. So this time it seemed nice to do something out in Italy.
And
We'd never
produced
been
it
there before.
yourselves as well. How did that go?
Yeah, we had a go. It was pretty stressful. I wouldn't do it again.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. No. I mean, I think it's best to outsource stuff. I mean, what I'm saying is like it was a good learning experience. I just learned not to do it again. Basically, that was my biggest thing that I've learned from that.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
but I think the album came out well.
results
but,
are
but I
magnificent.
mean, it was just like you end up having to do a lot more like self-analysis when you're producing.
Yeah,
Right?
of course.
It's good to have someone else to do the analysis for
Yeah,
you. I think.
the outside eye. Now, there's a very obvious classical influence on this record. You even bust out a little bit of Chopin in there on United States of Eurasia in the collateral damage bit. Very nice piano playing, by the way. BTW. Other classical composers who you're influenced by? Go.
I'd put obviously Rachmaninoff would have to make an appearance.
Yes.
Yeah. Liszt, Franz Liszt, yeah, he's very good. I believe he's a very good pianist. I like a little bit of Beethoven, I'd say, but I'm not really I don't know much about his stuff, but from what I've heard, I think he definitely was onto something.
What about Wagner? You couldn't ever
Wagner,
dislike Wagner.
I love Wagner. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Exogenesis Part 1 is very Wagner.
Exactly.
Wagner-esque.
And I read somewhere that the local music in Italy was a little bit of an influence on the album as well.
That was possibly the album before had a bit of influence on that. We did a song called City of Delusion on the album before this one, and that was influenced a little bit by some Italian music that I heard. Yeah, I can't remember the names of it, but someone was playing me some Neapolitan kind of folk stuff, I suppose, and it had like a lot of cool trumpets in it, but also Morricone. Obviously, Night of Sidonia is very Ennio Morricone,
Yeah.
who's a great Italian composer.
I love that you draw influences from places that other rock bands perhaps may not care to delve.
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, the history of music, it's an interesting subject.
Correct. This album has the massive singles, Uprising, Resistance, Undisclosed Desires on there. We're going to check out some of that action in a tick. If you haven't heard them, you've been living under a rock for the last year, because they're absolutely huge hits. So huge that my man choir does a cappella version of Uprising, which you're very excited about. Have you heard many a cappella versions of your music?
No, but I look forward to hearing that one. Where can I hear that?
You can hear it in a minute on my iPod. The rest of the album is intensely exciting as well, though. Clearly, I'm a fan of United States of Eurasia with the Chopin bit. All tracks are huge on there, though. And then we get to the exogenesis bit, which is large. How was that, putting that together?
That was good fun. I mean, that was basically a bunch of piano bits that I've been playing over the years and just sort of put them all together to make it into something that seemed like it could be a long piece, divided into 3 parts and gave it a name and everyone believed it.
You've destroyed the magic. He's tricking, I'm sure. There's a grandeur to your music. Did I say that sentence right? I don't know. Yeah. It's quite theatrical, the grandeur, the grandiosity. Yeah. Have you ever thought about writing a piece of musical theatre or perhaps an opera or a rock opera?
I would be against that, but I need to think of need to think of like a subject, like a good story to tell, you know? I think I haven't really come across a story that would want to do that with, but if I found a great story and you could write music for it and put some kind of theatrical theme together, I think that would be good. I think it would be cool.
The story of an a cappella group of men who attempt to cover Muse songs.
I'm not sure how
That's not very good, is it? A fan wants to know, who spoke to me about when I said that they want to know what your fascination with red is. Red clothes, red guitar, you've had red hair, red.
Oh, I think it's my favourite colour.
Thank you. And at M. Galafa wanted to say hi to you via Twitter.
Cool.
And it's her birthday today.
Hello. How's it going? Happy birthday.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Plans for Christmas?
It's Christmas. I'm probably going to go skiing somewhere or something like that, you know, like try and be in the snow.
Gorgeous.
Something like that, and whatever.
I noticed you've got Muse baubles for Christmas trees for sale on your on your website.
Really?
Yeah.
Blimey, oh god, that's
I'm gonna get me some of them.
That's cheap.
Are you a festive person? Do you love the festive season?
I'm not like I'm not a massive fan of it, but you know, I sort of go with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to whinge about it. You know, I sort of go with the flow.
It's time for a request. Go.
I'd like you to play a video of. So I think I'm thought. I'll tell you what. Primus.
Yes.
Primus, Tommy the Cat, because it features Tom Waits. So, it's my favourite bass player and my favourite singer of all time in one song.
Fantastic choice. Well done. And will you come back to Australia soon? Yes.
Probably not until the earliest time. It wouldn't be until we did another album, which will be like maybe 2012 sometime.
Is that when another album will be released?
We would hope so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm just looking on past sort of gaps and how long it takes to write an album.
Have you written anything?
Yeah, I've written some stuff. Yeah.
Do you write on the road?
Yeah, little bits, but the stuff I write on the road never tends to really make it on the album.
Okay.
It's always about it always sounds the same.
Well, you've got some great inspiration to go and write a rock opera now, so go forth and conquer. Dr. Matt Bellamy of Muse, thank you very much for chatting with us today on Video Hits. Lovely.